Hey, what's going on? Tropical Fish Guy here. Today we're going to follow up on the 60-gallon setup. Hopefully you guys watched the video on the 60-gallon setup. If not, I'll leave a link in the description below or somewhere up here somewheres. And what we're going to do is we're going to follow up with a couple of different things that normally happen after initially setting up the fish tank. Number one, I set up my fish tank, put my fish in there, and my water's cloudy. I don't know if you can tell this, guys, or not, but it's a little bit cloudy. And normally, that's okay. If you haven't seen my video on cloudy water in a fish tank, under normal circumstances, I will say, and that's my caveat, which I did not say in that video, but I was assuming that incorrectly that people would understand, but that's not, I have to give that distinction here. But if you have a tank that's not too heavily stocked, your tank is going to most likely turn a little bit cloudy, like milky or smoky, kind of cloudy white. You know, sometime after you add the fish, whether it be days after, whether it be weeks after, sometimes it happens, right? From 4 to 6 weeks, it can go through a process called cycling of the tank. All it is just building bacteria, you know. Real quick, we're not going to go too deep into that. All right, so got the tank set up and everything. Fish are doing well, doing real good. So what it's doing, it's building bacteria. So I'm going to help it build bacteria a little bit. And I swear by this stuff. For freshwater, it's Xtreme number 7. This is bacteria. Live cultures of bacteria that you add to your fish tank, right? I mean, you can put drops in there to make it clear up and all that stuff temporarily to hide the problem. But what you really need is the natural cure is bacteria, which basically your fish are pooping in the water, right, and causing bacteria to grow, which is that cloudiness that you're seeing until the bacteria can consume all that poop and everything and go away. So under normal circumstances, it's perfectly fine, but if you're overstocking your tank, it could kill everything. So I would recommend the API test kit, which I've done videos on before and everything. So I would test your water, especially after you've introduced your fish from maybe a week or two, and see how your water ammonia, nitrite, pH, right, that kind of thing. This video describes it better, but how to test your water. But Xtreme number 7. Follow the instructions. I'm going to pour this into the tank and it'll add beneficial bacteria, which will help the fish thrive. And it's kind of pink, right? I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of pink there, so you know the pinkness is good. And they recommend, I don't know if they recommend, but I recommend putting this stuff in the refrigerator. Your wife might not recommend that, but I think that it keeps it live longer. And they also have another product called Turbo Start, which they say is just a concentrated version of this, but they recommend that product be put in the refrigerator, but not this. I don't understand if it's the same thing. Fritz, talk to me, man. Tell me why. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I always use this stuff when I'm setting up a brand new fish tank, because nitrifying bacteria is the key to life for the fish. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the whole key. That keeps ammonia down. Ammonia is the #1 killer of fish in a fish tank, and can't hurt nothing, right? The second thing I want to talk to you is these guys are eating now. They're eating really well. All right, so I've been feeding them a good variety of foods, but a special thing to know about your African cichlids, especially from Lake Malawi and Lake Tanganyika, is that they're vegetarians. Mostly they're algae grazers, especially the pseudotropheus species that I have here. Aradas, that kind of thing, they like to eat a lot of plant matter. So food that I would highly recommend is the Xtreme Aquatic foods, spirulina flake. Okay, so the spirulina flake is good for the digestion. You can see it has picture. That's yellow tang. That's salt water, but it's got some pictures of some different type of cichlids there. But any type of fish that relies on plant-based matter as their main food. Any type of vegetarian fish, I would highly recommend the spirulina flake. Also, I've been feeding them the community Crave flake, which is a combo of everything. It's meat-based, but still, you know, a little bit here and there, that'll be all right. But I would highly recommend the spirulina, as well as when they're this small, okay? When they're this small, the Xtreme Nano, the Nano, because when they're small, I would give the Nano, and they've been eating this pretty good. You know, I give a good variety, but if you didn't have anything else, just feed them whatever you got. I mean, I'm just talking about optimal, you know, whatever, but don't think that you have to go out and buy all these, because these are expensive. They really are. And at first I was like, I ain't buying that, until they sent me some, and I was like, okay, it's good, I'll buy it. But definitely African cichlids, if you're going to the store and you buy an assortment of African cichlids, definitely. And you can also, a nice treat, believe it or not, would be to hang up some romaine lettuce and or some spinach. And I'll show you that also. Oh, there's also another great product that I have to show you on the best herbivorous food. Okay, that's called rapashi. Thank you. Oh, I just got that, the voice in my head, it just rang in my head like I'm enlightened or something. Rapashi, yeah. So the rapashi is an excellent, especially for the vegetarian fish, and they've got different kinds, but I would totally recommend. I'll leave a link in the description below too. Also, you could use the bottom wafers. I'm not trying to push these guys. They don't sponsor this video or anything, but I'm just a true believer. I'm a true believer in this food, man. Yeah. Because, like I said, Africans like to graze on algae, so they'll hit this all the time. They'll come down and just bang, bang, bang on that algae wafer. So, and this is mostly pea protein, so it's all good. All right, so having said that all about the food, we're going to make this tank look really cool. Being in the main room, the main living room I showed you in the previous video, we're going to have to make this look nice. We're going to have to hide the wires and stuff. No one wants to come in and look at all wires. So what we're going to do today is we're going to put a background on here, okay? But the normal background for fish tanks, it's freaking expensive, right? I mean, I ain't gonna do that. So what I'm trying today, and we'll see if it works or not, but I've heard that it works. I've never actually tried, but we're gonna do the real deal try today, is window tinting. Window film installation. All right, so this is kind of the same concept. It clings on and put the water on and everything, and we'll see how that goes. All right, guys, check this out. We actually didn't follow the directions on the tint because we didn't want to spray water and stuff. We just tape this thing onto the glass with the regular old Scotch tape, and it's hiding the cords quite well. You can still see the heater. I'm going to do something about that later, but you can still see the lift tubes and stuff, but that's okay. You can focus on the fish, right? Check that out. Is that cool or what? And even when these are such small fish, you'll be able to look at those with that cool background. I like that quite a bit, you know. So give me a thumbs up for the background. And I'll leave a link in the description below. It was a good find. We're also going to add some rocks to this. We've got a couple of big chunks of holy rock that we'll probably add to this, but for now we're going to let it sit. You know, the whole idea, right, is, for me anyway, is to not mess with it too much at one time. Do something here, do something there, and see what happens. But if I mess with it too much, then I tend to jack things up sometimes. I don't know. So for me, the ideal way, but I know things are different for everyone else. You guys, sometimes y'all like doing stuff all the time, and that's great too. I'm not knocking that, okay? Don't get me wrong now. Because I used to be like that too, but for right now, I usually like just watching. But that's just me. But we'll check these guys out, and I'm gonna do a feature story on the little blue guy. He got his tail beat up real bad, and he wasn't really gonna survive, so we took him in, and we're gonna nurse him back to health and follow his journey. So I'm happy that you guys are part of that journey. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it, guys, and like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Peace out. But first, before we go, if you guys have stayed this long, what we're going to do for you guys who stayed this long, we're going to go ahead and feed these fish, all right? So let's have a good close look. And this is a special for you guys who stayed. All right, check this out, guys. I went ahead and fed them the vegetarian food. Check it out. The spirulina flake, boom. And they are wildly going after it. You can see how they're gorging themselves on it. And especially our guy. We gotta name him. What is that guy's name right there? We're gonna name him the little guy that, see how janked up his tail is? He grew up in a rough neighborhood, and we took him in, and we're gonna try to bring him back. As you can see, he's eating well. Everybody's eating good. Boom, boom, boom. They're hitting that food. Check it out. They're grazing on the food, so they're doing good. That's just one of the foods I feed them, and like I showed you before, all the other ones, but I just wanted to show you guys. So thanks a lot.